on Hyperion-Blue-GT here. It's time to Racing GT Cup on Gran Turismo 7. Last year was very great. Be exclusive to be made by Toyota, but now it's about to get much more support back from 2019. So let's begin, and we're about to be ready up and go for round 1 at Fuji in Levin is about to be ready to go. So you see, this series will determine the world's fastest TGR driver, race through 7 quad 10 hybrid for in-game use. Sounds very cool, and this is going to get much more best opportunity as we're about to be ready up go for having a 5th season to the series. So let's have a good look for the event schedule. So now, we're about to take 7 rounds on each part of the date on every Sunday as we're about to kick off at Fuji International Speedway for only 286 models before moving on in round 2 at the end of April. We'll go proceed in May. Start date now, Road Track B for the Toyota GR Yaris RC High Performance 2020 is going to be scheduled to be on May 14th. After May, we're about to go again for the second time to be at Le Mans in the 24 Heroes du Mans racetrack for the Toyota GR010 Hybrid 2021 on June 4th. But that's not all, because after having 3 rounds are about to get much more on the way, specified car on Autopolis International Racing Course for the Toyota GR86 and Subaru BRC in the 2021 models will have to go on the way for the second time once again on June 25th. But after round 4, we're about to take on in the Nürburgring in the sprint course layout by using 2 Group 4 cars made by Toyota, GR Supra Race Car GT4 2019, and the 86 Group 4 is about to be set and confirmed to be on July 16. But there's also to have 3 Group 3 selection on Grand Valley Highway 1 to be scheduled on August 6. Is going to be choosing with the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept, Subaru BRC GT300 2021, and the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept 2018. Well, it turns out because the final race is going to be announced, so we have to find out to see which kind of a specified car or a brand new track, or just going to have to use the same one from the current update. But it's going to be a very good best surprise to see what it is. But I bet that might have to be on the perfect answer we'll be using with the Dallara SF23 Super Formula with the Honda and the Toyota engine version is going to have to be on the main surprise that we have to find out soon enough. So, let's get ready to enter, participate, and choose on in to be available on the race entry, because each part of the division is going to get much more separation. For GT1 will go advanced, and GT3 and GT2 classes is going to have to go exactly by the usual. But after all, because number of laps will have to go average and will extend it to see how it turns out to go basic and well advanced. For GT3 and GT2 will have to be participate in 6 laps for the number of players up to 16. Grid start is about to be on the type by using 2 kinds of 86 models of the Trueno and the Levin in the 1983 models. But it is going to get much more pretty differences to see how it turns out. But after all, because GT1 classes will have to go and extend it for having 12 laps, will go endurance to see how it turns out. But don't forget, you guys, the comfort tires is about to be required to be usable before we're about to get ready up and entered. So I'm about to be setting up and using with a UDRS Insportec livery to the 86 Trueno to have a full tuner customization will be at the ready. But it takes a lot of different perspective and doing a whole lot of practice, but mostly the BOP regulation is about to be set on mid-speed according to the tuning prohibited. So I know this race is about to get challenging and very slow and faster, that we have to be very patient. But mostly because the power is going to be correction to be at 127 horsepower and weight to be at 2,072 pounds. Do your best out there, folks, but I know this race is going to get much more proud in the track. This is going to get so very challenging, and I'm about to be amp up and get shape up before joining session in the lobby. So do your best out there, folks. The first round of the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup awaits us. As always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, Be sure click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos in the later future. Now it is time to get ready to go to start the race of the 2023 series in Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Here we go, let's begin and have fun out there. Alright folks, looks like everything is about to get ready up to be on the first space as live streaming is about to go commence and get much for having a first attempt acting segment to see how it turns out. So you see, it turns out to have some new changes with decorations around in Fuji International Speedway. The signs, billboards, and new buildings is going to be located on the Sector 3 that has a rookie garage, and a Fuji hotel is now being served to be located whenever you're at turn 16 at the Panasonic corner. But the environment is absolutely to still remain the same, and this is where the best start will be kick up and go on to have the 8.6 Levin and the Trueno to see this is going to have to be on the most classic race nostalgia as part of this year's in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. So you see, this is where the downhill and uphill where it comes, and these are the only two buildings are now being added to the update. So magnificent, so beautiful, and mostly to be on standby for the April 2023 update will be on hold. But I know because it takes some time and video editing as I'm about to go down and get ready up to go practice hard. Alright, so gonna have to be 8.6 Trueno will be driving to action. Fully tuned, ready up, and go competition is now gonna be very good to drive on in. So I have to be sure to have that 360-degree camera view to be rotated around whenever you like to see my design. Fully tuned, competitive ready is gonna be raring to go. But speaking of raring to go, but the timer will have to go for having a hard part of the main objective by exactly in 2 minutes 17 seconds is going to be the most impossible lap time for myself. So gonna have to be extra careful to go slow and faster whenever you might need to go at turn number 1. TGR corner is absolutely to be on the most first part of the advantage before proceed on to turn 2. That's where the first part of the stage is about to go downhill, you guys. So here comes turn 3 at the Coca-Cola. Sector 1 clear. Go on and proceed at Sector 2 to have that perfect inside to find your line. And here comes the 100R in turn number 4 and 5. Just going to slow down and keep up the good pedal to the metal by using the gas to increase the acceleration. So very good. After clear from the 100R, you'll have to take hairpin on turn 6 and go on at turn number 7. That's where the yellow highlight is about to have your helpful tip to find your good line. There goes turn 8. Make your way and go steeper down the hill to be at the 300R in turn 9. Just like that. Choose any kinds of brake position to go perfect and try not to go early or late. But that will be a very bad idea during the competition because I just went there 2 times and still trying to need to get much more focusing to increase my driver rating. But it takes so many possibilities and going well stressed I just might need to get myself to be holding together. So after taking clear on the 13, you'll be on the net and go up the hill to be coming in at the Panasonic on turn 16 that you might see the Fuji hotel just to be passed by. That building over there, this is where it is going to be served as a position landmark to be a reminder. So there you go, full speed up ahead, and make sure to pack up a good acceleration to go up in about 100 miles per hour to get over onto the 1000 meter before currently at the end of the first lap before moving entered on lap number 2. So that makes an average time 2 minutes 20.562 seconds. Now let's just going to see how it turns out and go extreme measures to be facing with many obstacles and go down to be at Fuji. So here comes the first turn. Gonna have to make sure to go hard and race respectively to go for the competition. So I got this to be well stable, to be on a good condition, because this qualifying is gonna have to go harder, much more stronger, and pulling up a lot of more effort to be using with the comfort medium compound tires. Okay, so we're on in. Any kinds of different position just to make sure when you're on the 100R is impossible to see how it turns out for only 186. Is going to have to step things up a bit to go increase the acceleration to deal with any opponent. But I know how several perspective, different challenges, and well staged to see how you can definitely that you might gonna have to go and intensify your racing skills to be using with the Trueno or the Levin. Just like going on to take turn 1, you'll be entered to be on turn 10 through turn number 12 to be on the main part of the chicane after clear from the Dunlop. But don't forget, turn 13 is actually to have the main part of the basic to go challenging and take that hard steering position to be aimed towards onto the apex. Okay, gonna have to go in. I know this lap time challenge workout is gonna have to be a little bit much more long time to do it. My commentating won't let me down if I can step it up and go much more focusing on racing. So there's 1 second behind the gap. Going increase, correction, and stable for having a good calculation. So great out there for having a nice day in Fuji. The signs are about to be turned out different. Mazda Spirit Racing, Nissan, NGK, Michelin, Aerobatics, all kinds of aftermarket brands are now being all together. But especially to have Ford signs that you might be recognized and still yet remains. So there you go. Same record to be updated by a decimal of 0.362 seconds. But I really hope if I can do this, because it gets me a lot of excitement for participate in the first round that will be received to get the GR010 hybrid. But entry registration before enter for this championship event, I'm just gonna have to do this for my YouTube channel, because this is gonna have to take my part of the objective is gonna have to go achieve and go up on to 1,000 subscribers is gonna have to get much more help will needed. It's always about having an entertainment is going to be the key to success, just to have much more fine average to a disability YouTuber who just really wants something else to be creative. But after all, being a Gran Turismo player is all about just going to keep on racing, stay clean, and work my way towards victory to be entered on number of position to be entered at the top 5. So practice is over. Time to join in session in the lobby. But I can feel it. I can feel it, and looks like the gang's all here by using the Trueno, and few are the Levins. Alright. Looks like this is going to get challenging and more well progression to see how faster and slower between 286 models can it go. But not to mention because the wing spoiler digest actually to be served as a competition tuner car. So gonna have to be ready and go for the quick warm up and take a good look to have a nice good official car number on each part of the sides and hood to be represented by Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Just like all the different car numbers from the last season since Gran Turismo Sport. However, it is actually to be turns out to becoming very different and more unique. Okay, looks like everyone is here. Oil pressure is here as well. The chances to have to go faster to be added. Okay, warm up complete. Now let's go and take 6 minutes in the qualifier as we're about to take 6 laps for the GT3 and GT2 classes. and mostly for 12 laps for the GT1 classes, so they could probably have to give everything all they got. Is going to have to go beyond advanced and expert to be on the competition stage. But basic to be on the first stage for the driver rating B is actually just going to have to go quick up and do some performance to be needs some experience. So let's exit out at the pits. Countdown begins right now for 6 minutes. Let's be patient and see how the speed will go by the slipstream. Switched up onto the hook cam. Radar just to be in case. Watch out for any incoming vehicles between 286s onto turn 1. Okay, looks like we have our first position driver of the day. Rusty Shackelford is now entered to be on the front lines along with Han Banana in position 2. But looks like someone else just actually to be referred to be known as the Stig on position number 3. Nice one. I guess that guy is actually gonna be pronounced to be known as the Stig from BBC's Top Gear. So I hope this is going to give much more bet and extra care for having a good, remarkable respect. But mostly, I guess that the Stig is actually playing Gran Turismo 7 right now. Just to do some well performance, to do some entertainment. So here we have Jerome in position number 5. Starts out with the letter J to be pronounced. And here is T-GTCQ Takimo. Well, very good to be pronounced name for a Canadian Gran Turismo player. But I kind of like it. Very good, and much more proud to see how an 8.6 fan is now actually to go into action. So coming in onto the 13th turn, gonna have to be much more reminder to speed up and practice well. A no-hole barrel is going to have to be much more high stakes to go competitive. So here comes the final turn in turn 16. Panasonic, don't let me down. Just like that. So you see, if anything else, might have to go for having a full slipstream formation to gather up and gain some separation to go improve with the lap time. But don't forget, don't get yourself left behind. All you need to do is going to speed up more, master every part of the handling and turns on number 16 in Fuji International Speedway before coming in to be at the TGR corner on turn number 1. But at the time, don't get slowed down, just going to have to try to catch up, because that race is all about trying to make your best effort before going up into the top 5 positions. So that makes 2 minutes left, 50 seconds remaining. Going in, have apex to go down on turn number 4. Solid fine performance on the 100R. Here comes the hairpin on turn 6, just to be sure and aim towards the apex whenever they have to do. Okay, green's now back in respawn. Smooth sailing, up I go, and keep up the good effort to be work out and achieve my way onto the top 5 position at the start. Oh boy, looks like good time to have the ghosting card to be called out earlier and save to be spare for Team Insportec. Very neat. A little bit close call that has a little bit much more measures to be averted by having a collision course. But good thing ghosting mode for the online competition is going to be a best time to spare. Alright, looks like Takimo is now getting closer to the Stig in position 3. Looks like they're about to gain some separation for having a side-by-side formation, and going shaft around to be on the main part of the lane direction is going to have to get some more speed. Come on, Stig. don't let us down, because the lap time is going to have to go quickly to go faster, and much more achieved, set to be on 2 minutes 18 seconds to be around on the decimal. Alright, there we go. Looks like I just made it on time, being placed on the number 2 spot in the silver. It's only down for under a minute left. Looks like we're about to get ready up and go before the 6 lap challenge is about to get underway. Looks like Apex Piloter has now entered to be on the first position. Ham Banana has now reached in second place. Woody in third place at the bronze. Myself is about to get updated to be stay on hold to be on the fourth position. And now, take on at the Coca-Cola corner in turn 3 to get back onto the 100R session to go freestyle driving to be on the main aggressive. Passive and aggressive all together to find a good line. Very much more skillful. There goes the hairpin on turn 6. Coming around at turn 7 to have a good aim position onto turn number 8. So the qualifying's over before at the end of the third lap. Apex X Piloter has now actually took a good succeeded lap time by 2 minutes 17.953 seconds. Very good style performance, and go quicker to be steady up, slow speed handling, and going respond movement. But don't forget, 13 by the corner is all you need to do. Is going to keep it up and stay on track. This race is about to get much more challenging to go for the important part of the ejected. But here comes the brake zone. Stable and cleared on the Panasonic on turn 16. But I can't wait if I can win this race in first position, or just going to stay on to the top 5 or top 3 positions. Here comes the checker flag signal, and going well cleared to be well defended on to number 4 of the spot. Very good. So looks like I'm about to take on with some 8.6 Levin into the top 3 position, while 3 of my Truenos are about to be ready up and go for only 2 cars. Looks like DC has now been reached on 5th position before going down, as oil pressure is going to have to step it up to be entered onto the bronze position. So looks like everyone is all being finished onto the checker spot. Going update, and well placed to be on the number 6 spot for Team UTRS in Sportec. I know this race is going to get much more slow start for kicks, so don't do any distractions, because phase 1 of the attempt segment is about to get closer at the end in about 20 seconds, and I'll have to be sure and get much more shape up before entered on phase 2 of the live stream segment. Okay, 1 second, and here we go. This will be a very tough, slow competition before we're about to get started out in round 1. Today's temperature in Fuji International Speedway, 75.2 degrees Fahrenheit, and a forecast to be on a bright and sunny day, and we got some good, excellent spectators out there to be ready up and see some good competitive action for the Trueno and the Levin in the 88.6 model. So you see, 2 new buildings is now being located on the Sector 3, as we're about to be ready up and go in about 22 seconds before the race begins. Do your best out there, folks. This competition is about to go up for having a slow start racing competition to see which is the best. Give your support and give your favors to see how the Levin or the Trueno will have to go competition time in about 5 seconds. Let's do this, and good luck out there, folks. Welcome to the start of the first round in the 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup on Gran Turismo 7. Let's start off with the drivers with the 8.6 Trueno and the Levin will get on the way. Here we have Apex X Piloter in first place, Ham Banana in second place. Third place we have Oil Pressure is now entered to be in the bronze position. Here we have Witty Rat 24 in fourth place. Fifth place we have Resort Crabs to be choosing with 11. And here's myself in sixth place where the UDRS Insportec is all tuned to go. DC has arrived in seventh place. Eighth place is the Stig is about to be ready up and go for the challenge. Wicked Ewok in position 9. 10th place we have Takimo is now ready to go. Need Him on position 11. Nice livery. Taser has now entered on 12th place, but don't forget JM on 13th place. 14th place we have Tuca Racing is now setting up. Cyclonic Bar 273 in 15th place to be on the last spot. So here we go, folks. 3 seconds. We'll go for the average countdown with no false start check. Let's do this and go competitive 8.6 racing at Fuji. Goodness, this is going to get so very awesome to have this part of the 2-car 1-make category to get set and get proven up to be racing on the track. So here comes the first turn at the TGR corner, and oh, there goes Ham Banana is almost barely lose amount of grip to be dropped down onto the below position in the grid standings, while Team UDRS Insportec is on the third position. That's the ticket. Looks like the Trueno is about to go full competition to be on the tuner car to have a nice different style GT wing will be racing on the track. But looks like Resort Crabs and Apex X Piloter are about to be stay on track and go enter at the 100R before exit to be at turn number 5 clear before the hairpin on turn number 6. Looks like this is going to get challenging for Team UDRS Insportec. Many 8.6, Levins and Truenos are about to go at it. How competent and very much more strategic to see how Team Insportec is still actually to be keep hanging around on the ropes when entering into the top 3 position. After having a grueling successful practice, but the passive and going well steady up to be entered to find a good line on the apexes as we're about to be step up onto the third sector before going up in the hill. The true downhill specialist of the 8.6 Levin Trueno is actually going to have to step things up a bit to be racing onto the hill climb session on Sector 3 when taking part to be on the 13, followed by the Neds on to turn 14 and 15. But looks like Apex is still actually going to have to step it up and go forward to take the first one to be entered at the Panasonic in turn 15. The top 3 racers are about to step up and go for the outside towards the inside to have a good perfect line to be increased by the chance. So there we go. Looks like Resort Crabs, Apex X Piloter, and Team UDRS Insportec is about to gain some separation and almost surpassing lead by having a 2-second gap distance before entered on lap number 2. So be on extra careful because other opponents is going to get more likely to have a much better chance to see how it turns out for this competition. So we have to find out soon enough and go enter to be on the main correction at the break. So there you go. TGR corner to be entered for the top 3 drivers. Apex X Piloters still got it, followed by Resort Crabs, and Team UDRS Insportec is still actually just going to give a good potential spirit ever since from Initial D on the first stage and final stage. Did I ever tell you about Initial D? This looks so pretty awesome and best icon for the 8.6 Trueno. But after all, because it's still got a lot of good potential for the original 8.6 was been driven by Bunta Fujiwara before his son Takumi Fujiwara took over to be racing on over to have a downhill specialist since the first stage. So here it comes. Looks like Resort Crabs is going to have to get a little bit left behind from Apex X Piloter in position number 1, while Team UDRS Insportec on the same 8.6 Trueno is still actually just going to have to keep it up and keep it go to be stay on the main objective. So here comes the final sector in lap number 2. Be extra careful and try not to get caught in the penalty. Slow down and going well passive is the key of the successful to be driving like Takumi's 8.6. So here it comes. Team UDRS in Sportec will have to make a turn and go offense in about 0.9 seconds as Resort Crabs steps up and go on to the main direction to be at the 15th turn and going back onto turn 16 to be well seen at the Fuji Hotel. So there you go. Looks like 386 is accompanied to be stay on in, and Needham has left the lobby for only 14 drivers left standing. How pretty simple, and going back to have a much more different perspective ever since from the first round back from the 2019 Toyota GR Supra GT Cup from Gran Turismo Sport. But still got some best memories and putting up to have a different chapter of a whole new perspective as part of the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup in the 5th season. So here's Apex X Piloter's lap time, folks. 2 minutes, 19.163 seconds is now being achieved onto the fastest record. 286's Levin are about to please step up and go steady up carefully to be avoided off the track onto turn 1 and 2, and looks like Resort Crabs is still actually trying to catch up and keep it much more stable as it goes. However, for Team UDRS in Sportec, still got much more progression and keep a good stable to be finding a good line to avoid having a penalty with no compromise. Looks like Resort Crabs can actually gonna have to slow down to be passive and kick up the gas to catch up onto Apex X Piloter in about a few more seconds remaining. But there you go. Team UDRS in Sportec is still actually just gonna have to catch up in about breaking through onto the short amount of gap in about 1.2 seconds as Resort Crabs still barely tried to break some time and go for having a short amount of long defense as Apex X Piloter steps up and slammed the brakes to be at turn 10 at the 3rd sector. Halfway there in the 3rd lap before entered to be on the 3rd sector. Very awesome, very clever, and just gonna have to keep on racing to stay clean, and for the top 3 racers will have to be on the most best achieved successful race to be on the first round in this year's Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup in the 2023 series. Gonna have to keep going up. Service quality is still might need to get back onto the green. Very much more good in the press, but other racers to be well seen by the last minute as the Stig kick us up and go well defense on position number 4, while J. is now actually to be on position number 5 to go offense. Other racers are still actually just going to catch up and go increase by the slipstream when the top 3 racers to be entered on forward to be at lap number 4. Update by the record for only the same time and decimal to be updated by 0.163 seconds for Apex X Piloter. But here's Woody is now being took over by 2 minutes, 18.546 seconds. Wow! I cannot believe it that Woody just barely pulled that off. Much more incredible for having a surpassed lap time to go faster at it. But very good job for Woody when going up with some increased acceleration on Jerem's current position on the number 5 spot. But still, however, the top 3 racers are still yet to be remained and gonna have to figure this way out to go in and out between on the offense and defense between using with 286 Levins and a Trueno to be on the 3rd position. So here comes turn 6 at the hairpin. Don't slow down, just keep press up the gas and go faster to be well embraced and become as the 8.6 driving legend from Initial D. Well, of course, because this race is going to have to get much more pure perfection for Team UDRS in Sportec to be on the 3rd position as the main part of the objectives. So here comes turn 10 on the 3rd sector by the entrance. Here comes turn 11 just to make sure and stay on the main defense for Team Insportec. The fans are about to be cheering on for Hyperion-Blue-GT of the United Defensive Reformation Service Insportec Racing Team will be step up and go focusing hard to be on the main part of the successful goal whenever it takes a can. Great progression and great success for this part of the objective for having a Tune 86 competition ready to see how Fuji International Speedway will be calling in to be on my name. But we're almost there at the end of the 4th lap, only 2 more laps to go. Be on a reminder, 1 more lap to go when we're entered to be on the 5th lap, basic, and going challenging for the GT3 and GT2 classes to be having a 1-part session of the lobby, while the GT1 will give everything what they got to be on the full competitive on 12 laps by the endurance. Slow times, faster times, and going much more achievable to be on the main part of the goal objective. But we're almost there. The 5th lap is about to get entered and go for 1 more lap to go remaining. I can feel it, folks. I can feel it, and go Eurobeat and testify for the 86 Trueno for the United Defensive Reformation Service, where the same 86 is now fully tuned, and go for the GT Wing to be drive into action. But very good to be on the clear on turn 3. Dive on in, go for the 100R in turn 4 before coming in at turn 5 to be steady and careful to be stay on the tarmac. But looks like other racers are still having a hard time to gain some separation and going offense to be on a different position to be breakthrough on the gap. But still, clearly, it'll have to be much more progression to see how Woody is actually to be dropped down to be on a different position, while GTCQ Takimo is now currently to be moving on at the 6th position along with Kaser on position 7. And here comes Ham Banana coming back in to be on the 8th position earlier at the start of the 1st lap, since the first turn slightly misguided situation by having a short amount of incident to be averted. So meanwhile, Team Insportec is still actually to be doing okay. Faster times, still gonna have to keep focusing to be on the 3rd position whenever it takes to have the perfect moment before coming up and take the nets onto turn 14 and 15 at the left corner turn before coming back at the Panasonic on turn 16. But it all comes down to this race is just gonna have to get closer for the battle of slipstream of the 86s will go for lap number 6. And here it comes, you guys. Looks like Apex X Piloter is about to get in and going upper hand to be on the main part of the offense to be proceed at the end of the 5th lap before enter to be on lap number 6. This is it, you guys. Apex X Piloter is about to go for the win and finishing at the end of the 1st round of this year's 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Will Resort Crafts is still going to have to get much more patient time and catch up onto Apex X Piloter to be entered and cleared to be on the 1st turn at the TGR corner before coming back onto turn 2. We'll have to take 1 more turn to be at the entrance in sector 2 at the Coca-Cola corner. Looks like Team Insportec is still going to have to keep trying because 4.9 seconds remaining for the Stig from position number 4 to be entered. Going in and steady up as it goes to be on the 100R in turn number 4. Magnificent and going passive and aggressive to be stay on in towards turn 6 at the hairpin. Looks like Apex X Piloter and Resort Crabs is now going to have to catch up onto each other, and there it is. Looks like he's about to go offensive to catch up and break the gap by exactly around in 1.5 seconds for Resort Crabs on position 2. Will Apex can actually get on to take its last stand before going enter onto the final sector to take the hill climb session on Fuji? We'll have to find out and give a good cheer for Apex X Piloter for the win. Final sector to be entered, and here it comes, you guys. Take the 13th turn for the 1st and 2nd place driver, and entrance to be entered 1 more time at the nets in turn 14. Steady up and go hard lap to be entered by having a 15 turn position to be on the get-go. But don't forget, Panasonic with the Fuji Hotel is going to be served for having a landmark position as a reminder, and there it goes. 286 are about to go at it and make their way onto the finish line by having a final stretch. This is it, folks. Looks like Apex X Piloter is now going to be pronounced the 1st place winner of this year's 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup in round 1 at Fuji International Speedway. There you go. Looks like he is about to take his chance and go for the victory spot. magnificent. Apex X Piloter wins the race at Fuji International Speedway. What a good classic nostalgia to see how two Levins are battled out onto each other. Magnificent. So magnificent, and best to be proud to be as a true Levin racer is now going to be quite very good to have a standard Type 1 version of the 8.6 Levin. Now that's a good 8.6 competition, you guys. Now that's a good competition, and surpassing for Team UDRS Insportec has finished in 3rd place. So very good, and excited for having a race position by 3 and a star earned on the clean race. That's how slow times, faster times, and work your effort to climb up to be on the top 3 position is all about prove your word and doing a successful best opportunity, as we're about to start off for having a first round at the end of April. But I cannot believe it. I just made it on time, and well done to be finished on 3rd place. Speaking of which, because this replay is going to be well deserved to have that perfect moment to be part in the highlights. What a very good competitive start to be on the first round at Fuji International Speedway for the 286 Trueno and the Levin with the same 1600 GT Apex. So, looks like very good for having a total time for having a 14-minute race time on Fuji International Speedway. But very good racing challenging for the Apex X Piloter, and Resort Crafts just actually did a good job out there. But they just already left, because I'm just going to make sure to leave a message for Apex X Piloter and Resort Crafts. You two did a good job out there to be using with the same 8.6 Levin. I'm so very proud of you. Very good, and way to keep up to stay focusing on your part of the racing objective to be finished on to 1st and 2nd position. When I'm on 3rd place, is going to have to stay well defended. That's how clean racing and slow car is going to be the key masterpiece to see how the 8.6 Trueno and the Levin is going to be a very good best start as part of the first round in 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. After all, that was a very good, excellent race to see how Fuji International Speedway is actually to become as the first part of the location before we're about to start up for having a brand new update. But it is going to be quite very good, and that's how one race for only one best perfection for Team UDRS Insportec will go proceed in round 2 by coming up in May. Alright, looks like everything is all cleared, and that was a very good fun race out there, folks. One part of the content video, and that is going to be a very good best recommend pick for myself to be served as a content nomination. So, I hope this is going to get much more pretty excited before we're going to have to be set up and go exit, as we're about to be ready up to go moving on in round 2 at Sardinia Road Track B for the Toyota GR Yaris RC High Performance. So that makes one race down, 6 more to go, and set to be scheduled to be coming up on May 14, which is going to be on Sunday by the same. Alright folks, looks like live stream is now going to be officially complete, and going to have to go wrap this up before at the end of the video. I'll have to be sure, and going to have to do a different part of the perspective. It's going to have to be on a different part to be served as an encore content. But I know you guys will understand, because live stream on the set is going to be my part of the objective. Is going to have to go well depends to be on the middle section of the grid, or finishing into the top 5 or the top 3 is going to have to be proven up and go challenging whenever it takes to be moved on forward. So we have to keep an eye out on the 2023 series GTWS Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup. So I hope you enjoyed watching the live stream video on Gran Turismo 7. Thank you for watching. Be sure click the subscribe button for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Don't forget to check it out on any social media platforms like DeviantArt, Twitter, Instagram, GT Planet, and more to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Vision Total Drama fan art with car liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any cup on GT7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.